Hi, Kaka. Do you want to be seen? You want to be seen? Excuse me. I'm disturbing your nap. She's a very, very leaky cat. All right. Let's get started. So, my favorite book of each month during 2020. It's something I saw on Instagram, and I decided that I didn't really want to do it on Instagram, so I'm doing it here. Enjoy. Hi, everyone. Maybe I should start with introducing myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Moon Cami. Welcome to my channel. All right. I got my post-it. So let's get started. January. The book I enjoyed the most was The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. It was highly anticipated. I had been waiting for it for quite a while because I started the series 2 years ago, something like that. Yes. And when I first read The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King had just come out, so I read The Wicked King like immediately, and I had to wait for The Queen of Nothing. But by the time I read both, the third one, so Queen of Nothing, had been announced. It was just me waiting for it. But I'm happy I did. It was really good. I'm slightly disappointed with certain things, but it was still the best book I read that month. And then in February, it was House of Salt and Sorrow. And of course I didn't write down the author, but I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect it to be that good, and I loved it. It was sad and mysterious and lovely description of clothing. And if you guys don't know, I love cosplay. I watch a lot of historical recreation on YouTube, and so when you describe clothes and I can imagine it perfectly, and that's what this one did. In March, Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. It's also a series that I started and completed in last year because I loved it. I really, the main characters are so fascinating, and I love the banter. And yes, so I finished it all last year, and yeah, I'm disappointed that it's over, but it was good. It was really good. Audiobooks. I listened to it, so the audiobooks, fantastic. I highly recommend it. April, The Starless Sea. That has to be one of my top 5, absolutely in my top 5 of 2020. It's by Erin Morgenstern. She wrote 2 books, and both of her books, I'm absolutely in love with her writing. There are no words. I can't describe how much I enjoyed The Starless Sea. It's a story within a story within the story, and they're all connected, and it's just fabulous. Woo. Fabulous. May, House of Earth and Blood. It's the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. I've been introduced to Sarah J. Maas this year with A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Cocotte, je filme. Excuse me. Well, excuse her. So Sarah J. Maas, I was introduced to her writing, and I love it. It's really good. It's so easy to read. It's quick, even though her books are massive. Well, some of them are massive, but her writing is so easy to read. And one of the things that I noticed in House of Earth and Blood is she has one sentence that's a whole paragraph, and somehow you don't notice it until you look at it, and it's like, oh, that was one sentence, a whole paragraph. It was a very run-on sentence, but hey, it worked. In June was one of those months where I didn't have a whole lot of reading done, so I didn't have a whole lot to choose from. And the ones that I did to choose from, books that I did read, none of them that I remember were like really fantastic. Yeah, out of just, you know what I mean, just really great. There was nothing that was really great. So I have to say Nevernight by J. Kristoff, I think. J. Kristoff. It'll be somewhere on the screen. And I'm gonna continue with the series because I remember it being interesting enough. The lore was interesting, and so I'm probably gonna continue, but I don't remember it much. July, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret something, I can't remember. I loved Enchantment of Ravens and Sorcery of Thorns, just books that have some sort of conscience. I liked it. I really did. It was enjoyable. It was fairly quick to read. It didn't take me long, and it was really good. Really good. Cocotte, s'il te plaît, arrête de te licher. T'es toute mouillée là. Alright, where was I? August! August. And here's where I actually started reading historical fiction. Daisy Jones and the Six. Wow. I think I listened to this book in one day. I couldn't stop. Like, I just couldn't stop. I started it and couldn't stop. It was fantastic. So interesting. It's written in a way that it's, you know, interviews. So it's an interviewer talking to each individual person that was involved in the band, because it's following a singer called Daisy Jones and the band The Six, who joined together to create something fabulous. And you guys, listen to the audiobook. It's a whole cast, so everyone has their own voice actor, and it's just sublime. Fantastic. And then September, another historical fiction. It's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That one made me cry often. So good. Following an actress that was, you know, very popular at the times. I can't remember what, probably sometime in the 50s is when she was acting in her prime, and apparently still very popular at the end of her life. It was another really fantastic book, and another one with maybe not a full cast, but several voice actors that do the different voices, or at least the different sections of the book. So it's, you've got from the point of view of Evelyn, and then you have the person that's interviewing her. So you have those two that have a distinct voice. October is when my reading kind of slumped again, really poorly. I didn't read much. October I read 3 books, and it's the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black. So my favorite of all 3 is the first one, The Cruel Prince. There are a couple scenes that I just want to reread all the time. If there was one book that I could rediscover all over again, it would be The Cruel Prince. November is another month where I kind of just got into a Holly Black kind of, well, slump. Not really a slump, but I just, November, the new book, her new book, no, not at all. It's How the King of Elfhame Came to Hate Stories. I was anticipating that. I had pre-ordered it in May when it first came out. That she was coming with a new book, following Carden's point of view. So it was must have it. I must. It was coming out, so I just needed to read more Holly Black. But surprisingly, I read two books by someone else, and my favorite of those is The Witch's Daughter by Paula Braxton, another historical fiction, and it was really good, really good. The second one, the second book is pretty good, not as good as the first one. So yeah, I can vouch for that. I suggest it. And then of course in December, a month after the release of How the King of Elfhame Came to Hate Stories, is when I got it. So it came out on the 24th of November. I pre-ordered the special edition from Barnes and Noble. So it's coming from the States. I'm in Canada. And it said it was shipped on the 23rd, and I got so excited, and it didn't come soon enough. It was just, I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and nearly a month after, so it was like the week of Christmas, I sent an email that was strongly worded about how I was disappointed that my book had not arrived. And then I think 2 days later, it was in my mailbox. And I felt slightly bad, just slightly. But yes, that one was definitely my favorite book of the year. Stawa? Okay, she just needed to switch spots. So yes, these are my top book of each month of 2020. Maybe I should come up with my top 5. All right. See ya. Please subscribe if you liked it. Press the thumbs up. And I will endeavor to come up with a new video every Saturday. Until next week. Bye, guys.